All right, Coach, back again as we begin the final stretch here of the regular season on Saturday with a trip to Newberry. Looking ahead to this matchup at Newberry, a team that's playing a lot better of late. So just kind of assess Saturday's game in the context of last night's game.
Well, I think, we're obviously, Newberry is, we talked about this a little bit last night, Newberry is difficult to play anywhere, but there's nowhere that they're better at than on their home floor. And it's a significant difference, partially, I guess, because just the way they play, their style of play, the amount of threes they shoot, they're just more comfortable at home. And, you see an example last night, they go in and at Queens, and I think there was a 30-point game, but at home that was a 1-point game. Lenoir-Rhyne, they get beat pretty bad. At Lenoir-Rhyne, they go back and beat Lenoir-Rhyne on their home floor. So we know it's going to take a great effort on the road. They're a good team. They have a lot at stake. Obviously, so do we. They're trying to play their way into the conference tournament. They're 9 right now, 2 games back of Carson Newman with 5 to play. And so everybody's locking in and trying to finish strong. And, for us, we're trying to secure, a first-round home game in the conference tournament. We're trying to put ourselves in a mission to be an at-large team in the NCAA tournament, have to win the conference tournament to get in. So we have, a lot to play for as well. So, they're a unique challenge, as you well know. Nobody plays like them. And Dave's teams always, have the same trademarks. I mean, they play with unbelievable effort. They put pressure on you on both ends of the floor, and a lot of things that they're going to challenge for us or stress for us are things that we haven't done particularly well the last few games, relative to, talking about last night, transition defense, particularly in the second half, was abysmal. Our communication effort, all the things that go into being a good defensive transition team went away in the second half last night. 12 offensive rebounds last night, 17 against Wingate. Newberry pounds the offensive glass, sends 5 to it. So if our transition defense and our defensive rebounding aren't at a much higher level, then we're not going to have a chance to have success on Saturday.
Obviously, this is that time of year where you either get good luck or bad luck in terms of the injury and sickness fortune. And last night we were lucky enough to be able to rest a lot of guys and kind of recover from some illness and injury, but you're still dealing with that a little bit. So talk about how the team is dealing with all those little things that come at the end of the season.
Yeah, it is definitely fortune, and you want to stay healthy. And we had a couple guys sick, a couple guys dinged up, and then obviously Scoot got dinged up there at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see how he's how he heals and if he'll be ready to go. And hopefully we'll have a full allotment of players and our whole group ready for Saturday, because it's going to take everybody against Newberry. It's a game that the pace of play is extremely high. It's a hard game to play guys, 30 plus minutes in. You're not going to platoon the way they do, but you certainly got to get guys rest, and we're going to have to rely on our roster. So hopefully we have our full compartment of a full complement of players. So that's we'll see. Donnie's the best in the business. Grigsby, our trainer, and does a great job. And so hopefully he'll have as many guys ready to go Saturday as possible. A couple guys I thought probably last night could have played with minor stuff, so I don't think there'll be any issue there. The guys you're most concerned with, the guys who are sick, and then obviously Scoot re-injuring his knee last night.
Well, you see a lot of, even though in spite of all that stuff, you see a lot of these young guys really starting to kind of figure things out. It seems like Voss, Carvassier, McCauley obviously has a great night last night. So does Julius Brown. Cam Henry only in his second year in the program. Alex Dalling, same thing. So how have you seen a lot of those young guys starting to kind of fit into the mold?
Well, I think there's been a lot of growth. You're looking at we're asking a lot from 3 freshmen. Cam Henry's a redshirt freshman. He's starting for us, and he's really, I think, playing better and better as the year's going on and kind of starting to impact the game in a lot of ways. He's a guy that doesn't have one skill you look at and say, he's just incredible at this, but he does so many things across the board on both ends of the floor, and can impact the game in a lot of ways. And so his versatility has been tremendous for us. Julius Brown, last 2 games, 36 points, 7 assists, no turnovers. I mean, that's pretty heady numbers for a true freshman, playing the point, and a couple plays he made down the stretch against Wingate, the passes, the one, remarkable one to Cam Henry. He drives it and throws it out, and I don't know how he saw him, but he hits Cam Henry. Cam makes a 3, and then the play there at the end of the game, put the ball in his hands, and he drives it and draws the help, and then makes the kick to Scoot to generate that wide open shot to win the game. So again, you look at how well he's playing, and he's a guy that has gotten better and better as the year has gone on. And then Cavassier, has had 2 of the last 3 games, he scored 23 points. Now he's sandwiched a 0 in there around it, but he scored 23 points in 2 of the last 3 games. He's a guy that can, just has a knack for scoring the ball and is capable of really getting it going from the 3-point line. But he's a scorer more than he is just a shooter. He's a really good shooter, but he's a guy that's big and strong, and even, for a true freshman, he can get downhill. He's a good finisher. And again, it's about finding comfort. I think those guys, when you have 3 freshmen that are having to play significant minutes, is not something that we've had here probably since my first year. We've always been a team that's kind of, gotten old and stayed old and had veteran guys in the program. And this year, it wasn't the case. We knew that kind of walking in the door, and thought it was a tremendous responsibility and challenge for those young guys, but also what an opportunity to come in as a true freshman or a redshirt freshman, have a chance to play those minutes. And you put Alex in there as a sophomore, another guy that played really limited minutes as a true freshman last year, but has come on and without question one of the top shooters in the league. When you look at his efficiency, he's shooting in the 40s, his range, his ability to stretch the floor. I mean, he can shoot the ball 5-6 steps beyond the arc. You got to account for him, and that helps us in terms of even when he's just out there and he's not making shots, just his gravity relative to spacing is tremendous. So, all those guys have helped us. I think the biggest thing is they've got to continue to grow and get better and play better down the stretch, because if not, we're not good enough. We need those guys to be at a high level, and you can throw youth out at this point. There's no crutches, no excuses. Like I told them, we have we have talent, and it may be young and experienced, but they're really talented guys. I think they're competitive. I think they want to do well, and now it's just making sure that we're committed fully to all the details that go into separating winning and losing, because the margins are pretty small.
5 games left in the regular season. 3 of them will be on the road. Obviously, you already mentioned a lot at stake. A home game for the SAC quarterfinals, an at-large bid, any of those other things to the NCAA tournament. So what do you hope to see from your team down the stretch run?
Well, I think this is the time to start playing your best basketball. Our goals are always the same every year. We want to hit our head on our ceiling every single game, play to our full potential every time we're out there. We want to be at our best when it matters most. This is when it matters most. I think if you went back February, March, look at our records the last 4, 5, 6 years, from the stretch run regular season and the conference tournament into the NCAA tournament. Not many teams have been better at this time of the year than us historically. Guys are usually locked in, focused. The things that we've talked about all year and emphasized all year, they travel, they work well at this. We're not a team that bases our success on shooting or things that we really can't control. We've historically kind of locked down and become great at the things that we know we have control over. And we still have room to grow there, but I want to see us, take that step. Like we've kind of been, and we talk about this all year. We've been a good team. We're 17-6. What's kept us from being a great team is probably just being a little bit more committed to all the things that you have to do to be a really good team. And a lot of it is stuff that, is not stuff that gets validation in a box score. It's stuff that, is sprinting back every single time in transition D and loading to the ball. It's making sure that you're quality with your box outs, and that if your guy's not going, that you're getting in the proper position to secure those long rebounds. It's being disciplined with your shot discernment and making sure that you're giving up good to get great, and you're staying disciplined, and it's taking care of the ball. It's being able to guard the ball, collectively, and keep the ball out of the paint, and then be able to get out individually and contest at the line and make sure you're getting a great contest on every shot for the opponent. It's all those things that are within your realm of things you can really dictate, and if you can handle those, you start to play your best basketball, and it really doesn't matter if shots go or shots don't go. You can kind of compensate. If they go, great, you're going to play great, and you'll probably win by a ton. But if those nights where you're struggling, you can hang your hat on those things, and you're going to give yourself a chance. You may not win, but you're going to give yourself a chance every night regardless. And that's where, we've got to get to. And over these next 5 games, they're all incredibly difficult. Newberry at Newberry. Mars Hill's much improved team playing them here. We got Catawba coming in who handled us easily the first time. Tusculum is a vastly improved team, got to go there. Then you finish at Lenore-Rhyne, which is one of the best teams in the region, and they'll be honoring all those seniors on their senior night. So every game is going to be incredibly difficult. Anything less than us playing our best and continuing to grow, it's not going to be good enough. We're going to have to earn our way into in a home game in the conference. We have to earn our way into a NCAA tournament bid, and we're going to have to play at a really high level to do so. And we're going to have to get better and be more consistent. We've been a little bit sporadic with things. We've shown flashes, but can we sustain it? Play an entire 40 minutes and play like every possession matters, because it does.